Alright guys, welcome back to another Dokkan battle video. Now we have the survey in the game, or well, a link to the survey in the game that brings you over to here. I'll go ahead and answer it on my end, and then if there is any parts that I need to cut out, I'll cut out because it might have personal information or anything like that. But we'll go ahead and answer some of these questions together because I do think that a lot of these are stuff that we can discuss and talk about. I always say this too, if you are a global player and you are able to answer the survey, please do, because as much as you want to believe it, the Dokkan does listen to your feedback. They showed this with Pity when they said that they weren't going to do it, or that they had no plans to. They've shown this with the anniversary banners being changed on part 2 and trying to make it a little bit better when every single year beforehand has been the exact same. They're actively trying to improve, and unless we give them information to help them with that, they can't improve. So again, please make sure that you submit some of these questions for the survey because they are very, very crucial. But let's go ahead and answer some of these questions. Where did you receive info on the Worldwide Down Celebration campaign while it was available? Well, I kind of just got it from everything, to be honest. I like how it says formerly Twitter. That's pretty funny. But yeah. Well, actually, it wasn't Facebook. That's probably the only thing I didn't get it for because I didn't use that. Same with Instagram. Yeah, I did it for the thing. Introduced by a family member. Yeah, I know. Alright, let's keep scrolling down. Where have you seen all the promotions? I literally saw all of them. So I'll just mark all of them down. Let's kind of go along as we see. Well, probably not a news article, but everything else other than that. Please like up to the 3 promotions that left an impression on you. The frosted cookie was really good. I liked it a lot. I know that a lot of people were trying to speculate, and some people were like, oh, it's gonna be Cell Saga because of the time machine, and other people were like, oh no. Some people thought it was 2 time machines because of the color of the chair and the hue and all that. I thought that getting the community to discuss was pretty cool. Even if it got a little more toxic, I would say, because that's unfortunately just some of the Dokkan community where if you don't guess the same character that you or that they do, they'll get very mad. The Dokkan Now special was also really cool this year as well. I will say. Let's see what else. Which of the what other third one was pretty cool? I think this one is also pretty cool too. I don't remember them actually just like saying who the winners are, which kind of sucks. I remember when they were having the animation campaign, and then they were like, "Oh, we'll give you I think it was like a drawing or something of like the characters." I didn't see who won though. I know that not a lot of people were able to submit, so we didn't actually hit the goal, which is pretty funny. But yeah. Please select all the times that your feelings applied towards the promotion of the campaign. I catch up to everything, even if I start playing now. Many months if I start playing now. Talk about it popular. It seems like a fun game, yeah. Now that I understand the game mechanics, it seems fun. Game mechanics seem cool. Illustrations are cool. Animations are cool. Well, I wish you could like, I don't know. I would probably say the animations for like half of these units were very, very bad this year. And that's just the unfortunate bit of having Dokkan first. Well, I guess it's not even a Dokkan first animations, because if you look at Future Gohan, he had amazing animations. But if you look at something like Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta, who had a lot of their animations be both of their fights kind of clashing together, so that way it kind of like goes from Goku fighting to Vegeta fighting and then punching downwards and all that. I do think that it didn't look as well as I wanted it to, as well as Sword of Hope. Him having his standby animations were really good, but I preferably, or personally, I did not like his some of his super attacks. Like it just wasn't cool, and I don't like the idea of like a standby character keeping their animations, but the other side of it is they literally get no animations, so I'll let it slide, I guess. But I would probably say the characters' animations weren't up to par for how I liked it. Like, if you compare it to Worldwide Download Celebration of last year, all of Goku's, all of Cooler's, all of Metal Cooler's, and all of Super Saiyan Duo all had really good animations. So compared to last year, I would probably say that the animations weren't up to par for me personally. It seems fun to talk and play with acquaintances, friends, and family. Yeah, it is. I see many posts about yes. It gave me the opportunity to talk about Dokkan. Oh, I don't really talk about Dokkan Battle around people around me, so I can't really say that for me. How satisfied were you with the Worldwide Down Celebration campaign? Part 1. Or here, I'm gonna look up on the side real quick. When was, I think Int here. Int Goku Black was part 2, right? Let me look up Worldwide Down Celebration Future Saga. Wow, no one has like, or Wiki didn't have it. Here, let me just try 2023 Worldwide Down Celebration. Okay, so here I pulled it up. I'll kind of just read it out because I don't want to pull it up on my computer. So part 1 I thought was pretty cool because it was Vegito and Texamasu. I do think, well, actually I'll put somewhat satisfied. I think the active skills for Super Saiyan Blue Duo was very, very bad. So it's like when you want to see Vegito, it's just like the whole thing is that he's obviously Vegito Blue, and they didn't really give you the opportunity to see him as much as I would like. So, and then they released the content that that I guess like didn't really clash well with the units. And then let me see. Part 2 was when we had Future Gohan and Trunks. I was pretty satisfied with that. I think that they had amazing kits. Well, Sword of Hope wasn't as good, but you know, Future Gohan was definitely pretty good. Then in Future Gohan, his EZA was pretty neat as well. And then part 3 was with the Int Goku Black. Then it was the really bad Red Zone, I would say, and then Int Rose. So I'm gonna probably just put somewhat satisfied. Yeah, just looking at it, I'm gonna probably put somewhat satisfied. I was more satisfied with part 2 than I was with part 3. Please let us know the reason of your satisfaction. The AGL. Well, yeah, they'll probably do that. Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta active skill was too difficult to, I guess I'll put was designed too difficult. I can't spell. Difficult to use. And then Red Zone as well did not, I put it capital, did not have enough variety. Because it didn't. Like, if you look at the other Red Zones, all of them have like super different stages. If we look at something like Broly, he obviously has the AoEs, he has it where you can't dodge. You look at something like the Shenrons, where with the Sin Shenron, he had like the hardest hitting attack stat in the game, I thought, or like one of the hardest hitting. So, and then he also had the countdown as well. So it's just kind of weird to go from all of that to like a Red Zone that was just like AoE's turn 1 and we're killing you. Like, I should probably put that. The units that came out were not designed to be used in the Red Zone as well as they should have been. Because yeah, like if you look at the top options, or you look at yeah, whatever. No, I'm not putting that Red Zone. If you look at the top options for Red Zone, I probably wouldn't even say that like Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta and the Texamasu were like up there. It was all units like God Goku, Bulma, which I guess, yeah, Future Gohan. Trying to think of some of the others off the top of my head, but it was just really dumb. And then like I was talking about with the easy A's were like Tech Trunks was like one of my favorite characters, and his easy A was just designed so terribly. All right, let's go ahead into the next page. How satisfied with you with the aspects of the challenge, difficult, mortal wrath and mortal, or divine wrath and mortal will? Honestly, I think the difficulty was like it kind of spiked, but I was somewhat satisfied with it, or well, not somewhat satisfied. I was just regularly satisfied. I do think that like I said, there was like a very big jump, because if you look directly into the stream, you could see where they specifically said they wanted it to be an easier red zone for people to challenge and take on. But the last few stages were like on the level of red zone in terms of having to or in terms of difficulty. But honestly, like I was fine with that, because I'd rather have the variety, you know, like at least that one had it where you had to think, right? I know that Trunks was a little bit closer to the anniversary event where you wanted to kind of constantly attack him so that way he wouldn't get to that like one shot range basically with his super attacks. And then him changing typings too, of course. Like I think that was a really good idea that was brought back, even if it like was pretty similar to like I was saying with the anniversary event, specifically the 8th year part of it. And then I can't remember what Fusion Zamasu was off the top of my head, but I did like it. I thought it was a pretty cool, neat way to get more stones and rewards, other than like if we could directly compare it to last year's Worldwide Download Celebration, where you had to basically use the brand new units and the brand new EZAs to beat that like what was it, like the Fighting Spirit event. Like I think that this was designed better. Divine Wrath and Mortal Will was designed better than the Fighting Spirit event. Chance to fight against campaign themed extreme class. Yeah, that was really cool. Like we need more of where it's not just extreme class. I don't like it when it's where we're only fighting hard extreme class units, because it doesn't let the extreme class units shine as well as they would need to be if they are having to face super class enemies in their passive somewhere, and vice versa. I want to use super class units in some of the harder like extreme class, but I want to see the variety. Like that's my main thing, is I like seeing variety. Or it's like the unique title. Yeah, that was really cool. The unique title is always greatly appreciated. Please let us know the reason of your satisfaction. I'll just put I liked it more than the Fighting Spirit event of last year. And what else? I liked it more than the Fighting Spirit event of last year, and am looking forward to more events with super class characters in the future. That's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the next one. How do you feel about the animations of the... Oh, here we go. I wanted to recruit the character very much. Super attack. So they... Okay, so they did like make it where it's different. They made it where it's you could put for both the super attack and skill descriptions. I mean, the card illustrations were really cool, regardless of the animations and our abilities. The fact was my favorite character was featured. I would say yeah, because I really wanted. You could go back into my previous videos and you could see, or even my tweets, where I talked about that I really wanted a Goku and Vegeta from Future Saga, and I was talking about how that was like one of my favorite parts that is very underutilized, was just not only Future Saga as a whole, but the fact that, you know, Blue Vegeta hasn't had a card since Int, and Int sucked both on release and on EZA. And you could tell that it was going to be a horrible aging kit. And so like I did want to see something in terms of that. But in terms of the super attack and skill animations, I would say that it was like I somewhat didn't want to recruit the character anymore. Same with the super attack and skill descriptions. Like it was really bad. Like I was talking about, it just wasn't good. In terms of the active skill, I did want to do, like I said, I thought the Vegeta was pretty cool as well, but I was just, well, I'm sorry, the animations were really good. This was really bad. The active skill was too hard to use, especially in red zone. Yeah, because if you think about it, most of the time you are wanting to be done in these new red zone fights by like what, turn 5, 6. Like look at all of these powerful characters: Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, Trunks, this new Vegito, this the Zamasu. All of these characters are at their max potential on turn 5. And it's just like by the time you get to turn 5 and you're really wanting to show off Vegito, you're either already killing the opponent or you're not able to use the active skill because you didn't have the restriction, because you're not under the certain amount of HP. So it's like, well, why? It was just like, why? They made it where that extra part of the passive where it was like you have to be turn 7 or something for if you're facing a Future Saga enemy. Yeah, I think it's like turn 7 because you could throw them off twice and then get the guaranteed active skill. But it's like, again, you're killing the opponent on turn 5 and turn 6 because Future Gohan, all these characters, they get so much better on turn 5 and 6. So why did they design it in this way? The active skill conditions could have been easier to use. That's not, yeah, it's just, I'm not going to put the red zone, or sure, whatever, I'll put the red zone. Let's go into the next page. How did you see the following animations and or abilities for LR Fusion Zamasu? His stuff was really cool. All of his stuff was really cool. How do you see the following animations for... Yeah, all of that stuff was like even better. It's just the same thing that I was talking about with Vegito, where it's just like you want to see these guys, but you just can't. And I didn't really like that the active skill was as hard as it was. So everything about the character was good. I'll put that. Everything. I was pleased with everything about the cared about Zamasu except the active skill conditions. While similar with Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta of the scene of the Future Saga World Dawn Celebration. I'll just put transform into Vegeta came out this celebration. The active skill should be much easier to use. There we go. Nah, whatever. Similar to whatever. Okay, let's go to the next one. How did you see the following animations for? His animations were bad. And the super attack and skill effects. It's the reason why I only went for 55%. I like the character, and he's one of my favorite characters from Future Saga. Specifically the Sword of Hope part. I like a lot of his lines, and I like a lot of the animations from that fight, but it's just like they just did not do his animations as well as I wanted him to, especially considering the fact that Future Gohan came out in the same like literally in the same part of the celebration. If you compare them directly, he is just like clearing it like 100%. The card illustrations was obviously really cool. I think all of the card illustrations are amazing. Regardless of the animations, yeah, I felt that Trunks could have been better considering that he wants to be used in longer content, but no long-term content in this celebration. That his damage reduction that he gains when doing attacks on the turn should have just been I spell that terribly, but nobody paid attention to that. We'll just go ahead and have all this stuff corrected anyways. No long term celebration, yeah, it's whatever. And then they're gonna ask about Gohan, and we already know what it is, yeah. I was very happy with the Super Saiyan Gohan and have no complaints. Alright, next page. The Doom. Please let us know following questions about the new feature. The new domain feature increased the combinations of strategy and team formations, making the game more fun. I think it's cool, yeah, for sure. Plenty of ways for the new domain feature to be used. Yes, of course. I only fear that, yes. Actually, no. Please don't. But let me go into it in order. So the new domain feature increases the combination of strategy and team formation, making the team more fun. I think that it is a very cool thing. I'm a little bit scared because of how restrictive it can be if it's just like Gohan where it's for everyone, or Zamasu where it's just for everyone. It's good. If we get the free-to-play character though who also got it, and it's just like for a specific category, if that's used more in the future, I'm going to be a little bit more hesitant to say that it's a good feature, because I could see it being where, like, if a Pure Saiyan gets it and it's for Pure Saiyans, I could see it being like a Pure Saiyan dominated field, you know, or whichever category gets another domain to help out their specific category. There's plenty of ways for the new domain feature to be used. Yes. My issue is that I'm scared that they're going to release more domain units similar to how we have standbys right now. And if they don't have it where it's like able to be used at the same time for some of these ones, I could see it where like Future Gohan isn't able to use his active skill. He's not going to get 10 times better because I don't know, let me just make up a unit on the spot. Super Saiyan Bardock has his domain active, so we can't see Future Gohan's or something along the lines of that, you know. If they don't have a thing like how standbys is right now where you can have multiple at the same time, it's just going to make it where characters that have domains who also need to use the domains are going to be a lot worse, if that makes sense. And that's why I think that I'm a little bit hesitant on saying that they're I'll probably put somewhat disagree. I don't think there's a way that I can see that the domain feature could be used in the future, so I'll put somewhat disagree. I believe implementing more new skills such as standby, skill, and domain would be better. Yes, the more abilities that we have and the more that we have to think, the less Dokkan becomes a game where we just look at animations all day. If we have more strategy and more stuff to do, I think my enjoyment of the game gets like super duper high. Like it's the same thing with like how Broly Trio when they came out, where you had to actually think about what orbs you wanted to get because each one had different status effects. If you do stuff more like that, it's gonna get players to think more about the game. Please select the most important element for you in Extreme Z Awakening. You can only click one. Okay. Strengthening a character's strong points. Yeah. Strengthening a character's compensate for the weak points. Yes. Strengthen a character to make more compatible with new characters that arrive in the same period. No. I want them to strengthen and compensate for the weak points. If you look at something like Tech Trunks, he's a character who just wanted time, and you release Tech Trunks in a part of a celebration where he has no time. Sure, take him into some of these Shenron events or some of these old Red Zone. He's gonna dominate because we have more time. But he doesn't have compensation for his weak points. He turned from a character who was like really good on release because you could just take him into any event and just use the reliable Tech Trunks team and be able to win a lot of these longer form content. But he had no compensation for the weak points, the short content when he came out. They try to compensate it a little bit by giving it where he got defense in his base form, but it should have just been permanent defense. It shouldn't have been defense that you only get for 3 turns. Or give him damage reduction, give him guard in base form, give him something to compensate for him being so weak. Because then he's just gonna die. There's so many of these characters that come out after EZA and we're just like, wow, these guys stink. It's Goku Black, another character who is so bad early on that he's only really shining point is at the end of a fight. So they need something to help out with that, and if you don't compensate for them, I'm fine with them doing nothing in terms of attack stats and making it where I'm just delaying the turn or not killing at all. Into Goku Black, or I'm sorry, into Rose, the LR was an exception because he had high defense to compensate for the fact that he was an all damage character. But again, he's doing all that turn 1, and into Goku Black, the TR that transforms into Rose, it's nowhere near as high as what the LR does on like turn 5, turn 7. Like, come on. It shouldn't be something like that. They need to make it. I would rather have a character that is better defensively, that I know is going to age well, and compensating for, like I was saying, those weak points, rather than a character that, like, sort of Hope Trunks, where he does like a 30 billion attack stat on when he transforms. I'd rather him age better than just having to use like items and be like, oh well, I gotta protect baby boy Trunks, you know. Like I don't want to do that. I want to be able to take some of these EZA units and actually be able to use them, you know. But yeah, let's go into the next part. Please select 2 of the most important elements for you in a character who can be recruited from events. Be effective in type formations or even when playing high difficulty events. Being able to support characters from being able to support characters from recruitable events. For you who can be recruited in events. Okay, so they're talking about free-to-play characters. I was a bit confused here. Being able to try new elements. I'm a little bit like I do like doing that, but actually no. I like, as much as I like doing that, the problem is that like domain and standby, again, they're really cool, but if I'm having to standby and do domains with characters that I already have that with, or revives, it's cool having that free-to-play option, but if I pull the new unit, I'm never going to see that character be able to use that element anyways. Being able to grow fast with a little stamina. If the please guys don't click this. Be able to I do want them to be able to support and be even effective in the high difficult content. I want these characters to be used. EZAs in my mind are the same. Like, I want them to be the same thing as like free-to-play characters, where I'd rather them be defensive and be able to live in these high difficult events and be able to use them more often than they're doing all these attack stats, and then it doesn't matter because they're gonna age out even faster. I want those weak points covered. But yeah, I definitely want them to be able to support the characters, and I want them to be able to be used in high difficult event. Please select the functions content you would like to see the most in the future in order from 1 to 3. More growth for Extreme Z Awakened characters. Events where the enemy continues to change where the enemy changes as you continue to battle. We already have red zone, so it does not matter if we get more, you know. Able to enhance your favorite character stats to a certain extent. I'm assuming that means equipment. The system rewards you based on your purchase. Come on, guys. I got you. No, please don't. A system rewards you based on your gaming progress. I'll probably say this, and this. No, I'm kidding. Not that one, but probably that. Yeah. Because able to enhance your favorite character stats to a certain extent. Like I said, I'm assuming that they're talking about stuff like equipment. If you look at the anniversary events and all that, and then the free-to-play events that they drop, that's cool. But I feel like that doesn't take too much time to think about, unless they're obviously like updating the kits with that. But again, I don't really care. But I do want to see some more growth with these Extreme Z characters, because if they drop these Extreme Z characters and then they're just like terrible on release, I'd like to see something in place to kind of fix that. So being able to use some of these things, like Dokkan is like, hey, you know what, we're at fault, we messed up with this character, so we're going to help and make him better. Seeing some more growth for that, unless they're talking about characters who have already EZA'd like from the beginning of the game. SSJ3 Goku, the AGL one, STR Broly, some of those characters, I would be nice to see them, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to see them as much as I want to see some of these new characters who are getting EZA'd and getting them that, because yes, they're cool and they're trophies and all that, but the animations were so bad back then that me personally, I'd rather just see these new characters who have better animations, ones that weren't as bad as they once were, be fixed. You know, if you have something like the Legends equipment system where we can fix those parts of the characters' passives and upgrade them, do not make it like Legends though, where it's like less than an LR chance of pulling them though. Please, I'm begging you. But something like that is something that I think would be really cool, just having more growth for those Extreme Z characters. Then the events where the enemy changes throughout battle, like I said, that's probably my second thing. As it's not as high as a priority as Extreme Z battles, because again, we already have Red Zone, but I would like to see something new at least every month or two of higher difficulty events of stuff that we can talk about. I like, you know, talking about Dokkan with my friends and being like, whoa, guys, look, this enemy just one-shot me turn one. Or like, wow, I went 7 hours into this fight and I just died. It's so over. You know, I like being able to go into events and talk to people about that. Nobody click on the thing that says rewards you based on your purchases. Because I don't want it to be any more pay to play than it is now. I'd rather just a system that rewards you based on your gaming progress. More free to play friendly than pay to play friendly. Because as much as I like, or as much as sometimes I spend on Dokkan, I don't want to get to the point where I'm gonna get more incentives, because then it's just gonna make me want to pay even more. If you have any other thoughts regarding functions and content you'd like to see, please then write them here. I'd like to see more variety in content like Red Zone, where we can get longer stages. I think the new Red Zone stages that released during the Future Saga campaign were only short styled ones. Let's just do that. I'd also like to see more super class enemies in the harder portion or the harder content stages if possible. Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna pause just in case the next image is like us going over the details, because like I said, I put like my age and all that at the start, so let me just make sure real quick. Okay, never mind. It was just asking us what our thoughts and opinions are for the operation team. If you have any other opinions and thoughts regarding Dokkan Battle or messages for the operation team, please rate them here. I would like if the EZAs that extreme, if characters, nope, I spelled it wrong. Hold on, guys. I'm having a stroke. Characters who extreme see awaken during a campaign were designed more for that event. Tech, Trunks, Future Team, for example, was not able to be used at his full potential during the Future Saga celebration. Alright. Nope. Sure. Tektronics Future Team, for example, was not able to be used full potential during the Future Saga celebration. I would also like if Dokkan would, well, if there was pity, like on the new Goku banner. They don't call it, is it legend? Yeah, the new legendary summon. Legendary summon. Got the new legendary summon banner was implemented in some way to other banners, even if it's not exactly the same. Let me just make sure that I also like it if there was pity. No, on the new legendary summon Goku banner, which is it? She's implemented in other ways. Other banners, even if it's not exactly the same. Yeah, alright, let me pause again because it might be the age thing and all that. Alright, we're good. So, yeah. I got past it, so let's keep going down. Yep. Oh, yeah, I don't think I talked about it, so I'll just talk about it real quick. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, about domains. That's what I was gonna talk about. So the part where it says like, I like the play content with enemies that use the new domain feature in the future. I didn't talk about it because I was forgetting about it. As much as I would want that, characters that use a new domain feature, I feel like it would almost like, there's two scenarios that happen. Either it makes it where characters that have domain are useless or are really good. Because if an enemy having domain will cancel out whatever domain I have, it'll make the characters who have domain useless. If my domain will cancel out the enemy's domain, then it makes the domain of the character or the enemy character useless, if that makes sense. So it's basically like a like a cancel out domain, unless it just like happens simultaneously, which I could also see as well. So that's why I don't know how they would implement that, where it's just like both you and your opponent will be able to use domain at the same time. I don't know how that will be, so I'd rather just them not have to go down that avenue at all, rather than seeing if they'll be able to do it. Let me see, because I think the next thing is like my ID, so the like my player ID. So let me just see that real quick. Never mind. It's just telling me that I can launch Dokkan battle. All right. But yeah, that's all the time we're gonna talk about today. If you guys like the content like this, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like. Make sure to dislike if you didn't like the video. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about some of the stuff that I talked about. Let me know what you guys' thoughts and opinions are. I always like to have a discussion. But yeah, if you have any comments or stuff like that, please be to let me know. But hope you guys all have a great rest of your week, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.